In October of 2015, Spook and Sinister trees were first added to Lumber Tycoon 2, quickly becoming a staple of the game. I personally have found over 1,000 spook trees in my 5 years of hunting the elusive wood. In this video, I'll cover everything you need to know about spooky wood, including some major recent changes. So whether you're a noob or an avid hunter, let's get into 2023's complete spook hunting guide. Let's begin by discussing how spook trees spawn, going by the same order the server does. Spook spawning usually begins on October 1st at 6 AM EST. However, this year it could also begin at 5 AM, as last year's Christmas gift opening time was bumped from 5 to 4. Anyways, on October 1st and whenever a new server started during October, an initial period of stagger will begin. This stagger is estimated to last between 0 and 3 hours, with a time chosen randomly on each server. At the end of the stagger period, a spook tree will spawn, with a 1 in 100 chance to be replaced by a sinister. This stagger variable was introduced at the end of last October in an attempt to fix the imbalance of spook trees at peak hours of hunting such as October 1st. After the first tree spawns, a second timer begins. This timer, known as the interval, lasts approximately 6 hours, spawning another spook or sinister tree once concluded. The interval continues for as long as the server is alive, planting another tree every 6 hours. Thus, it is likely to see 2 trees growing at the same time on the same server throughout October. While seeing 3 is possible, spook trees are alive for approximately 9 hours after being planted, with 12 needed to spawn a third tree. This means that the first tree will likely die before the third is planted. During the End Times event on October 31st, this all changes as the interval decreases to around 45 minutes and the stagger is removed completely. Up to 3 trees can be growing at once during this event, with the cap preventing any further spawns when all 3 are alive. When actually spawning in a tree, the server will first send down a raycast from the raycast ceiling, located 100 stones above the volcano, to check if an area is unobstructed. Parts with can collide turned off do not get impacted by the raycast, allowing for spawning in weird places such as underneath the volcano's lava. Rarely, trees can grow into or through can collide true parts if the sapling is obstructed at initial placement. Spook trees can only spawn on parts named slate, sand, road, or ground, with no biome or material having priority over others. Spook trees experience a bout of growth every 150 to 200 seconds, with 60 to 75 growths in total. This equates to an average growing time of 3 hours and 17 minutes per tree. Spook trees are able to have up to 5 segments without splitting and 2 or 3 branches per split. 5 segments are the rarest, with only 1.2% of trees growing into such. This is closely followed by 1 segments with 2.6%. As for branching, 2 is slightly rarer than 3. Rarely, trees may appear to have more than 5 segments or 3 branches due to a part of the tree being obstructed by another object. After the End Times event ends on November 1st at 6 or 5 AM EST, no more spook trees will spawn. However, it is still possible to find remnant trees that spawn late during the event, as they can remain alive for up to 12 hours. Part of the reason why people enjoy hunting spookwood so much is the uniqueness that each tree presents. Certain tree growths are rarer than others and certain locations are more favorable. As mentioned before, 1 in 5 segment trees are often high quality finds due to their rareness and unique growing patterns. 1 segment trees have a high chance of becoming monsters, supersized trees that have lots of interwoven branches and thick bases. Stumps occur when a growing tree runs into a can collide true part, resulting in 1, multiple, or even all of the tree's limbs being stunned. These growths often result in trees that look rather funky, appearing thick or long depending on where the stump occurred. Super stumps, a type of stump, occur when the second segment of a tree is stumped, resulting in 1 thick base part and 1 little segment on top. Finally, an obstructed tree occurs when part or all of the tree grows into another object. This is very rare and caused by a poor raycast as mentioned in the previous segment. As for locations, the Tega Peak, Volcano, and Sand Islands are considered rare locations. Very rare locations include the river tunnel sandbar, maze entrance, and the maze ledge, a small area of rock behind the maze. Hunting has remained basically the same for the past 2 years, so I will be reusing last year's guide for this video. To start the build, you're going to need about 80 smooth walls and 1 plot of land. Simply reset your character, and wherever you spawn, place a smooth wall blueprint right behind you. Now grab some filled in smooth walls and place them in front of the blueprint. You can delete the initial blueprint now. To make sure it works, reset your character. You should spawn on top of the smooth wall. Now all it's left to do is pile all of the smooth walls directly on top of each other until you've used all of them. Once your base is ready, it's time to join some servers. I recommend clicking on the servers button over here and navigating all the way to the bottom. From there, click this checkbox that says exclude full servers, and then you can join any of the servers available to you right here. Once in game, simply load up your slot and try to load it in one of these plots. Once loaded in, you want to navigate your camera over towards the tropics. Now you can either start from the tropics or start from the safari. I prefer starting from the safari. Anyways, to scan the map, all you want to do is put your eyes on the corner of your screen and slowly turn around the whole map. Remember that you're looking for very tiny imperfections. These spook trees can be as little as a single pixel. And once you finish searching the server, it's time to rinse and repeat until you find a tree. During the end times event, towers become quite useless. Your best bet during this time is to drive around the map in a circuit, trying to move as fast as possible through as many servers as you can. As for glitches, many of the popular spook hunting glitches have been patched over the last few years. However, I do have a few cool strategies that you could use. First is another version of the ladder wall climb, this time utilizing a candy corn axe. To perform this glitch, simply drop the axe, grab it at a horizontal angle, and walk it into a wall. After a few tries, you should begin climbing up the wall. Flick off at the end like so. The candy corn axe works best with this glitch, although others may work too. Next up is good old long planking. Go grab the trunk of a large tree and sawmill it at a low setting. Take your new plank, load it into a Vols hauler, and drive it towards your destination. The final method I have for retrieving trees located in tricky places such as the swamp is using the snowmobile. Simply load it into a utility vehicle and take it out when the truck is no longer able to easily drive. While a little slow, using the snowmobile beats walking by a long shot. And that's going to be it for this guide. If any information changes from now until the end of the season, I will put it down in the pinned comment below. Anyways, that's going to be it for me. I hope you all have a fun hunting season. Goodbye!